you were announced to be in the Thornbirds.
I know, it was a mistake because, as we all know, I didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And was disappointing to me at the time. But something amusing came out of it that for the rest of my days I have a good chuckle about, which is that I did a screen test with Richard Chamberlain for Meggie. And I just had my baby about three months before, and I'd been breastfeeding, and they told me my breasts were too big, so would I please stop feeding so that for the test I could look like a little girl rather than a new mother. So I stopped feeding my baby, and that's a tough thing to do. And we played the love scene that takes place on the beach. We played it on the bed for the test. And I finished, and they said cut, and I sort of got up off Richard because I didn't want to be too heavy on him, and I looked down, there was half a pint of mother's milk on his chest. I think that was the day I realized that I might not become Meggie.
How did Richard handle that?
Like the gentleman he is, I think he tried to ignore the fact, and I'm sure it never happened to him before or since.
Boy, I'm surprised they didn't immediately cast you in Mother Earth or something like that.
I mean, you know, it goes down with the most embarrassing things that ever happened in your life, don't you think?
That also brings up another area, and that is, it seems like with a handful of other people, you can work whenever you want. You seem to do mostly high-quality vehicles, and yet here we are dealing with rejection, just like everybody else on the Thornbirds. That must have hurt.
Oh, yes. Oh, I hated that. I've been rejected on quite a few things. You know, I don't go out telling everyone. The only reason anyone knows about this is because somebody made the mistake of announcing that I was going to do it before I actually had it. But it does, it hurts, and rejection is a lousy thing for anyone.
Okay, quick reactions to some things. You mentioned earlier you were in, what, one James Bond film?
Yes.
You were, they called them Bond girls, right? James Bond girls.
Yes.
Most of the women who do those roles it seems to be like a career breaker. Nothing seems to happen afterwards. What was the difference with you?
I worked really hard at breaking that mold. I was considered a classical actress in England before I got the James Bond film, and I'm the only woman I know that didn't go up for the part. And I wasn't even available. And they bought me out of a BBC classic, you know, romantic series to do the James Bond film.
Did you say to yourself, uh-oh, I can get typecast here right away, so I better go on and do other things?
Well, I mean, I was so stunned that they wanted me, and then in England it's the biggest thing that ever happens. I mean, 5 pages in every newspaper. I was bigger than Elizabeth Taylor for a day. A day. And it was an amazing experience, and I now can look back on it and be very pleased that it happened. But
now they say that you're one of the few English performers who gets a kind of mid-Atlantic accent, and there are producers who think you're American.
Yes, I mean, and the audience and the critics have never once mentioned that I was English. I mean, unless they're sort of talking about my background, but the accent is never mentioned.
Now I hear it here. This is.
Oh yes, I'm speaking in my normal tongue.
Yeah.
But I can change to an American accent.
If you had to play a New Yorker, how would you sound?
You can't do that to me. That's not fair.
Okay.
No, because you see, I get embarrassed.
Now you're blushing.
I do. It's like I never play charades or anything. Acting is a very embarrassing
Well, we're
thing.
not playing charades. Now, very few people are accent blushers. You're the first one.
I'm an accent blusher, but not when I'm working, because when I play the character, I am that woman. And I'm not Jane Seymour anymore. I'm somebody else.
They say romance is back in style. I say it never went out.
In this television commercial, Jane does play herself. She's been endorsing Max Factor's Le Jardin perfume for nearly 2 years now, and her subtle sales pitch has helped ensure its huge success.
People don't really know what to make of me. I think I've been accused of being aloof, snooty, and it's because I'm English, you know, and I'm basically quite shy. But if you start chatting with me, I mean, you're not shy at all. I'm not shy at all, really, and I'm very easy. I will try anything once.
You will?
Yes, I really
will. You stand on your head right now on camera?
Absolutely. You want to do this? You're embarrassing. A pregnant lady?
No,
How
you're
could
pregnant.
you
No,
ask
don't.
a lady?
That's right. Forget that. Later.
Later.
After the baby, come back. We'll do it.
Okay.
All right.